Hello my dear Aries, this is your love and spirituality reading for the month of August 2019 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. We are soon entering into Leo season, so happy birthday to all Leos out there, and I read for the signs in the order of birthdays from now on, except for the bonus reading that will be performed in the order of most liked videos. And as always, these readings apply to your sun, moon, rising sign and Venus, Vedic or tropical. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. You can also get more information from the bonus reading for July or the general readings for July. And if you have more specific questions about your situation, you can check out the pick a card readings on the first page of my channel. Click my little Queen of Cups icon and scroll down a little on the first channel page. There you will see different readings that can clarify your situation. Choose the one that are most intriguing to you and you will find the answers you need. You can also seek out a personal reading. Go to the About section on my channel far to the right and you can order a reading there. And for this reading, I will use the 78 Tarot Mythical. It's illustrated by 81 artists. It's a global art collaboration. So I will start shuffling your cards. And when I open your deck here, I see the Lovers together with the Hermit. So it seems like there's a love relationship or any kind of relationship where you're mirroring yourself and getting to know yourself better through the relationship with the other, and it might be through consensus or through conflict. Sometimes we can talk with another person and become more enlightened, and at other times we need to be challenged by this other person to learn to get to know ourselves. If we are resisting, for example, we don't want to be a rude person, so we keep our truths to ourselves, and then we might be challenged by someone that's constantly rude until you kind of tell them, even if it feels rude for you, to tell them that, hey, you are rude. Okay, so I call the Divine with Love and Light, and here we have the Four of Cups together with the Hermit. So it seems like one in this equation is a little bit withdrawn and doesn't want to fully engage in the relationship. Might be very hard to engage, and they might need a lot of time on their own, withdrawing into aloneness. So it's making it very hard to have a relationship with this person. So I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world, and here we have a Page of Swords with the Four of Cups. So you might be dealing with a Virgo. The Hermit is Virgo, and you also have the Page of Swords, which air and water. Page of Swords with Four of Cups. This person, it might be you or the other person, can go both ways, is a little bit like an orphan person, a person that is street smart and know how to handle themselves and take care of themselves. They might be very charming, very either well educated or like well raised, but it's almost like they have been raised by wolves in a sense when it comes to love, and because they have made a strange attachment style where they want to be close to you for a while, but then they want to go away and be in hibernation. So it's some kind of rebellion that they are doing towards you, or you are doing towards another person. Because either it might be that you have forced to overperform by your parents or people at school or friends at an early age, and this put a mark on you or this other person to feel that they are hoovered or overwhelmed, or there's too much responsibility on them, so they withdraw from responsibility while they're also making a little bit rebellion. So 6 elements, and here we have Strength together with Four of Cups. So it seems like this is a necessary road for this person, that they actually need to do rebellion and have better boundaries to come to terms with themselves. And it's like the good girl or the good boy syndrome, where we have done everything to please everyone else, but we haven't learned to please ourselves. So here, this person is going to have to learn to please themselves. 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Aries viewers. So I want my dear Aries to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. And the strength card that we saw can be also connected to Leo. Okay. So, Aries, I will tune into you and your situation in August for a few seconds here. Okay. So, there we have a little dog underneath the table. So, if you wonder why there was shadows, it's not ghosts. This is your future, Aries. And this is your now, there. And this is your past. And in the past we have the 8 of Swords. So 8 of Swords is when we are trying to conform to a social situation, and we have all these rules that we need to live by. And the more we try to please other people, the less we become ourselves. And it's 8, so it's connected to the Strength card. Shows that you need to go through this where you become your own person instead of a person that can be to other people's liking. And here we have the now, and this is the Emperor, so this is you, Aries, together with the Ace of Cups, so self-love, and the Empress. So this is also, as I said, you mirror yourself to relationships, so it can be good relationships where you help each other, or it can be challenging relationship where you challenge each other to grow. And this seems like there's a very beautiful, loving connection here. And you also have the King of Cups here together with the 8 of Cups, which shows a need of healing and determine who I am and in relationship to other people. But there's a beautiful love connection here, but it's also balance between the feminine and the masculine within you. So here is your future. I was just about to say that the Empress is Taurus, but I didn't know why I should say that, but this is also Taurus. So Taurus is a sign of, it's stubborn, as is the Aries, and it's focused on wealth and growth, and to feed the population in different ways, so very in tune with nature and nourishment. But this particular Knight of Pentacles, it's someone that is kind of saying that they have the power to lead the population, that their truth is the only truth, and the other people here, they believe them, and because they don't have anything else to believe in. So you need to be a little bit on the watch out for false prophets, or for you going just with the person because they have a strong voice or they seem convincing. You need to use your head to determine what's right in this situation. And also, it's about not trying to win over other people, but actually letting them be the person that they are, instead of trying to make them into something that they're not. My dog is a little bit restless at the moment. So we'll see if he finds a place to rest. And I think this is what these people here wants to do. They want to find a place to rest. They want to find a strong leader that can tell them what to do. We can also see there's a cheetah here, or whatever the name is in English, and a wolf there, or a dog. So they're trying to go to this strong leader to get answers and to find a place of rest, to not have to take responsibility for myself, or not figuring out for myself. Just let me be the lamb, just let me be led. And this is the way we get into to yeah, church groups and other things where we give away our authority. But it's not a bad thing totally to be in a social context and to learn from other social beings how to be in a group. It's fine. It's just that we shouldn't swallow everything what a person says or let them become the know-it-all, because we also know we are all equal. We are all having this straight hotline to God, and we have an own authority. So be a little bit careful with either becoming the authority to many in a way that suffocates their own thinking and their own feeling of authority and belonging, and also don't follow in blindly. Okay, so have you found a place now to rest, little doggy? Maybe he says, maybe not. And here we have the star card. So the star card is connected to Aquarius, and it shows your the reason to why you're here. You have like a specific mission of some sort to something that you want to learn in this lifetime. And it's 17, 1 plus 7, 8. Here we have the 8 of Swords, which is Gemini. So you have air here, both these. So you're trying to figure out something with your mind when you really know your human mind is a limited tool. It's just thinking machine, I can say, and you need to stretch a little bit higher than that to your higher realms and like the sense inside of you that talks about importance over a long period of time instead of what is important for me now. I need to feel safe now, okay, but maybe it's more important for you to feel safe by your own accord than to lean towards some other kind of authority. So this really wants to kind of make you grown up. And here we have a 9 of Swords. So there's a lot of pain in you that you need to actually go through to find out that you are perfect in the way you are, and you are going to be loved the way you are. This is where you are going to find your highest mission for this life, is by being yourself through and through. Without that, you can't find your place in the world, and you will always feel misplaced and alienated and like you're doing something wrong. And I'm also feeling the sense of you have been placed in very difficult situations because you are a very strong, beautiful soul. So have you come down here to the valley of complaining and torment and death, and you can't really enjoy this because you think there's something wrong with you, but there's not something wrong with you. It's just that you are a light in a very dark room. Sometimes it's like that. And notice it's 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords, okay? And here we have a 3 of Wands. So with this 3 of Wands, I feel like there's false compromises in the air, that you in the past here tried to make compromises with yourself, with others, to avoid pain of some sort. But it's like making a deal with the devil. If you have authority in your life that's not sane, let's say that you are married to a narcissistic wife, for example, and she has a very loud voice. She is also very difficult when she doesn't get her will through. So you bargain with her and you let her win a lot of the times, and your life is dictated by her rules. So this is one example on how we are compromising ourselves and letting a person that is not fully sane lead our life, because we want to avoid conflict. We want to avoid feeling stupid or being ridden on a guilt trip or whatever it is here, because you have a very beautiful soul, but it seems like it's very easy to make you feel guilty or make you feel bad about yourself, like you're a bad person, sinful, guilty, shameful, you're doing shameful thing, you're not, your moral, it's something wrong with your moral. It's not, okay? You just need to follow your own inner core instead of sometimes leaders can be very loud, and we listen to them because they are loud. doesn't mean that what they say is something that we should listen to. We just follow them because that person seem to know their shit here. I'm going to listen to that, and it's just because they have a voice that's convincing, and they're argumenting with people in a way that's a little bit like being a bully. And of course this can be you, Aries. It's kind of a description of you, but I think when you have this on your inside, it's also mirrored on the outside. And if you can learn to deal with these bullies, and if you are a bully yourself, you will stop doing that just naturally by healing yourself, and this self-love, and the balance between the masculine and the feminine, and the balance between good and evil inside of you, and or good and bad, and dark and light, and night and day. So, and here we have the Hierophant. As I told, this is a person of authority, like a person that seems to know what they are talking about, and they seems to be successful because other people are listening to them. It's like the bully in school that had the whole cool gang backing them up. But they were not sane anyways. I'm not saying it's something wrong with this Hierophant. It's Taurus again. But I think we're talking about leadership here, and how to be a leader, and what kind of leaders to follow. Most I want you to follow your own inner leader, and not a leader in the world, because it's giving one person too much power when the power should be with everyone. Okay, so if you follow your own authority, the power will be with you instead of the big, great world leaders with a too big mouth. Okay, and here we have the Moon card. So the Moon card is everything that's unknown. We can say that this is the image of the emperor that had no clothes. It's kind of obvious for everyone that this is not a nice person. If we have this person in our living room, or inviting them over for dinner, it will probably not be a nice dinner, but we're still letting them rule our world, or rule our workplace, or rule whatever kind of situation we are in. And someone kind of needs to say, point out that this emperor doesn't have too much on their feet, that they are actually not being a good example of a leader, but more of a bully. Okay, so it might be different situations. It can be on your social media. It can be in your friendship group, someone that always dictates what kind of restaurant you should eat on, and everyone kind of goes with that, even if it's not saying that this loud mouth decides where everyone of you else are eating this dinner, and it's not a restaurant you even fancy, but you go with this because it's less trouble. And instead you probably need to talk with this person instead and say, no, now you have decided the last 5 times. We never hear from you, Sophie, so where do you want to go for dinner? So be a strong leader yourself. Okay, and the Moon there, it's very scary to do this. It's unknown, it's dark, and it's dangerous. Moon is 18. We have a 9 of Swords here. 1 + 8, 9. So it's very scary. It's easier to negotiate with the one that seems to have the leader quality than to actually do what's right, do what makes you feel that feels right for you. It's not going to give you inner peace maybe immediately, but after a while, when you have learned to take the consequences of your own decisions and become a true authority, because we can be an authority to others and still not feel entitled, or that we can feel that we are bullshitting everyone. But if you become a true leader, a true authority to yourself, instead of like social manipulations and things that people do to get on top, we just follow our truth, like our true moral codes and values, regardless of what the world says. If the world says, well, you should be a go-grabber and steal people's money with funny business arrangements, it doesn't have to be you. It can be like a stupid dictation about someone that says something that we don't have to listen to. So you don't have to listen. It's the same. It's like with branding and everything, that everyone needs to have this brand. It's like brainwashing. Again, the emperor without the clothes. It doesn't have any clothes, but people just run there, and it should be like this. We should honor this brand. And it's a little bit like zombie behavior when you have your own authority. Okay. So 5 of Pentacles comes underneath the star. So it's because you feel thrown out in the cold by the divine, frankly. Like, why did they put you here in this hellhole? And now you're just trying to survive. So, okay, I'm hearing a song. It comes pretty often, so I'm not too happy about it coming, but I guess it has its purpose, because it's about my own worst enemy. So it talks about you coming here for a reason, but you start to become what you were sent here to destroy. My worst enemy, that's myself in this case. Okay. And the 5, they are connected. All the 5s are connected to the Hierophant. The 5 of Pentacles, feeling left out in the cold because you can't join the group. You didn't afford that watch for I don't know how much money. So sorry, you couldn't be included. You're not one of us, the bully gang again, that we want so so much to be a part of. Why? Okay. I wonder. And then we have the 5 of Swords, where we try to fight the leader for leadership, and I have a better car than you do. No, my car is better. And the 5 of Wands, a competition where we I can climb that tree, you can't climb that tree, and a person climb the trees and, you know, fall down and get a headache. And the other person is really great, they come to the top, so they win. Okay, so it's like we are trying to sort among people who are in, who are out, who are good, who are bad, who are with us, who are against us. So this is how war comes. And the 5 of Cups, when we get so disappointed because people just wanted to win, they didn't want to share the love that we had in our heart. So we have the feminine, it's the 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups. Can't we just all play together nicely, and can't all be included? And the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands says, no, we need to select who's the enemy, and who is like with us, and who is weak and who is strong, and we will be with the one that's with us and that's strong. So you can see this in also countries, and then turns to war. Okay, so 5 of Pentacles, you so darn want to be with this group, but it costs you dearly. So, and here we have the Chariot. So it's the journey you will make through this life, and I told you you are going down to the valley of death, and this is is Hades. It's the river Styx down in Hades, and Charon there is swimming with the boat and forcing dead people to also swim the boat. So you try to make it through, like with dry feet, through this valley of death. You try to not be the one that has to swim here and draw the boat. So you don't want to be the slave to the grind. You want to be the puppet master. Or the 7 of Chariot, it's an interesting card, because it's about going down in incarnation after incarnation after incarnation. But it also comes a lot for people that has you know, people following them. So not leaders per se, but people like we idolize. So people that think that they are a little bit better than us, and we think that they are a little bit better than us. And here it's obvious, because in other case these wouldn't swim like this and draw the boat. They would all sit in the boat and all would row. Okay. And here we have in the center the Fool. So that's your little beautiful soul that came here to do this mission, and maybe have forgotten now what it was all about, and now you are trying to have the latest brand of clothes, the most expensive smartphone, and you try to look sharp and cool and try to fit in, or you're dealing with someone that's like this. Okay, So the Fool. And here's your, your real conscious saying, well, is this really sane? Are you sure? So sweet. Okay. But you came here so innocent, and you just try to, catch on and see, okay, so what's the rules on this planet? And you try to fit in, and you try to make a good job, and then you were lost in the fogs. And here we have the Seven of Wands. So this is how it goes for people that doesn't follow this group mentality. So we can have one Taurus here and one Taurus there. So people that's equally stubborn. And we are bowing to one of them, and we are following the other one with pitchforks. And it's not really sane or logic which we are following and which we are following with the pitchfork. It can just be like a mob, like mindlessly running after one and glorifying the other. So we need to take ourselves down to earth and become our own authority, and not try to, go like a big pack of sheep or wolves in one direction or the other. So with the Seven of Wands, you need to remember who you were when you came. We have 7 here, so this is spiritual challenges on your journey. So you're going to have to stand up and defend yourself against opposition, and not feel as a part of the group, and doing the thing anyways. It's like when I hear people saying, well, I don't want to stick my nose out because I don't want to have trouble. But I say, this wonderful thing, you need to share it with the world. Well, if I share it with the world, I will have a lot of critique, and I don't know if I can take that. And then I remind myself about Jesus. He came, he got a lot of criticism, he was killed, and he still, he made a mark. So that's the kind of impact you were supposed to do. I don't say that you have to walk on water and make a wine into water and stuff. You just need to follow what's your true core here, the Fool. And you need to be that person, regardless if it's not, the latest fashion or not, to be like that. Okay. And here we have the Queen of Wands comes underneath the moon. So it's something else, like something witchy, hexy that wants to come forward here. Something that's very in tune with nature. And I feel the pagan drums and, the frequency of earth, of Mother Nature. She wants to be listened to now. And in nature, we are all equals, okay? We are all either the one that eats or the one that's, food. So also top predators becomes food for others, at least when they die. And human beings, we have no sharp teeth. We can't even be out in the sun for particularly long. We run in a crappy way, we can say. We are weak. We are not made for the world out there. So if we were in nature on equal terms, we would probably be food quickly. But because we have our mind that can protect us towards the sun and the weathers with clothes and buildings, and we're getting even more and more advanced. Also, we become the emperor without clothes, like the humanity, and no one sees how insane it is. So here we have you, the emperor. This is Odin, and then you have Queen of Wands. Both of these are Aries. Okay. So it shows that leadership is needed, but sane leadership. We can see she has these crystals, so she's taking in advices from the divine. And here he has his wand, taking in advices from the divine with his flash. And he also has sacrificed one of his eyes. Odin was blind on one eye because he's putting it in the wisdom well. So he looked always on his emotion, taking hints, okay? Like we can see here. This doesn't feel right, okay? Why do you need to buy those, fancy clothes? It's the same as down the street, it's just like 10 times more expensive just to fit in. What's wrong with you? Okay, so, and here comes your future, and we have a 7 of Swords here, so not very good self-esteem here. We have 7 of Swords, the Chariot 7, 3 of Wands, so this negotiation where we try to win as much as possible. So we're kind of turning our coat with the wind. So if there's a strong leader there, we go with them, but then it comes an even stronger leader and we go with that person instead. And we had this fashion, we just bought these darn shoes, and then next day the paper says, well, they are not in fashion anymore, so we need to throw them away or put them somewhere until they become in fashion again and buy new shoes. It's crazy. And all is to feed a royalty that is very hungry on money and wants to have small slaves, you know, that rows the boat for them. I'm not saying that Persephone was evil. She's my idol because she did this. She went down in the netherworld and she figured things out. And I want you to do the same. So 7 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. Is this the only way you can be a part of society, or this person can be a part of society if they don't show themselves, their true self, like who they are behind the mask? Someone acting so cool, but inside of them, you know, they are crying. But they are trying to have this brave face and look cool, and they are the coolest one in the gang, doing the most outrageous things and getting a lot of admiration from the others. But inside they cry, and they do everything like this to not be put on the outside, to not be alienated from the group. It's some kind of survival fear here. So you need to learn how to become autonomous and survive on your own. So you don't need these other people. It doesn't always have to be like so shallow with brands and who's the loud, like the loud mouth, you follow this guy or whatever. It can be just what I said in the beginning. Someone just trying to make peace in their marriage with their wife or their husband. That's acting a little bit crazy, and we're just trying to, you know, understand what's the fashion today. So am I supposed to be warm and generous, or supposed to become a part of the wallpaper to not have your wrath coming down on me? It can be so many different scales, but the same thing. We let crazy people rule. So we have the Fool here. I'm admiring this, but it's fun to play with words. Okay. And here we have the Guardian, so it's like the primordial swamp. Something else wants to be awakened, something ancient, a wisdom that you have collected through eons, being here or in other places, where you have so much experience, so much wisdom, and you don't use it. You just try to look to the left and to the right. How is the other guy doing this? The Star, the Chariot, the Guardian, something comes through here that's kind of outwardly, but also the essence of the world. Why we are here in the first place. We're not here to have the latest shoes. We are here to learn something about ourselves and to challenge ourselves to always take that next brave step into the unknown here. And become more than what we were before. So more than mindless sheep following, you know, a strong leader that have questionable morals. And here we have meditation. So meditation seems to be the solution for both the strong leader and you. And also to heal the pain here that the soul has, the untouched soul has, when it comes down in matter. So meditation, stay with your inside, okay? First lesson, 1 week, stay with your thoughts. Sit in meditation and then take a pause, write them down. To hell with the world. It's so horrific to be here. Whatever you want to say, okay, whatever's on your mind. And then next week, you're not allowed to think. Just feel your feelings, stay with your feelings. Doing my dealing with pain. It's a dealing with pain video that's down below where I'm talking about an exercise, how to deal with pain, to stay with your pain. So do that for a week. And then the week after, you go even more advanced. And because when you stay with your feelings, you can't really think obsessively. You will start to do so, but then you will wake yourself up, put yourself back into, I was supposed to feel my feelings. And then you will start, drift away into thoughts again. And when you realize, you feel your feelings. Drift away, realize, feel your feelings. And more advanced, week number 3, You're not allowed to think at all. So whenever a thought comes, you catch it and you let it go poof, and you're just blue sky. And then you will start thinking again, and when you realize, you catch it, and then blue sky again. You can also see a blue sky, which the thoughts are clouds, and you just clear it out, so it's clear again, and you stay in no thought and no feelings. They are just tools. You are using them to get information, but they are not supposed to use you and be on the on switch all the time, driving you mad, okay, driving you crazy. I need to have this latest shoes, in other case I'm going to feel very vulnerable. Yes, it's your mind saying that. It's not you, it's not your vast soul that's this blue sky or like a big sun. It doesn't care about your shoes, okay. Queen of Wands, meditation, this is very strong. Self-respect, really doing the work with cleaning oneself out, making oneself into, paradise inside of you, a temple, the high priest. So this is a high value person. She doesn't tolerate bullshit. She doesn't go into false compromises. So you'd rather be alone, survive on her own. She has no problem with that, rather than to compromise herself with people that comes after her with pitchforks for what she believes or what she feels or what she wants or who she is. And she is the gateway to paradise, your own inner paradise, and she doesn't let people in that's not worthy. So she's being ruled by the moon, and we have the moon also here. This is Cancer, Pisces, Aries. So it shows you going through a feminine door. This other thing is very masculine, following a leader. Feminines are more like flat leadership. It's like everyone have their place. Masculine is pyramid leadership. One is sitting on top, crapping down on all the ones that's below. So here we see a feminine doing that in a very masculine way. But yeah, Chiron has found a way, like a technique to get this chariot on the road or on the waters. So what you need to do here is to shift your awareness a little bit from the masculine towards feminine realms. It doesn't mean you are not masculine anymore. You don't have the masculine tools. You still have those, but you get another tool. So you are 100% more than you were before. You're expanding your awareness as a soul. That's why you came, okay, to this valley of death and destruction. So I will take cards from the Oracle of Dragon Fae to see what is your advice here, Aries. The Pentagon, pure male energy. Yes. So, the Pendragon speaks. I am he who is the hunter, the sage, the father, the provider, the protector. And this is what the world has led us to, because we had this person wanting to do so good, wanting to see that the tribe survived, people need to make clothes, need to make houses, need to go and hunt. And there was maybe a necessity of a strong leader back then to show us how to survive. And this person was constantly worried, okay, constantly having so much responsibility. If they didn't do the thing that they were supposed to do, people would die, okay. So today you see a lot of males don't want to take the responsibility at all, because they have been so traumatized by the responsibility that they had in the past. So they think, oh no, I won't go in a committed love relationship, then I would have responsibility for her survival. I can't do that. It would be my fault if something happened to her, or if she loses her job or whatever. It's my fault, and I'm the responsible one. Of course they don't want to go in a committed love relationship. Yes. Does his best. I am the one who watches over his people and does his best for his family. I am he, your brother, your father, your husband, your son. I am sheer, powerful, masculine energy, and I'm the lover of the goddess of the dragon fae. Together we create wholeness. Apart we wander alone and are more easily wounded, even destroyed. I have a role to care for others, to use my physical strength and to use my attributes to fight for those I love. But we can see this have been turned into fighting for oneself, very egocentric, coming to the top, being the ruler. So it has been twisted. We have the masculine inside of us has forgotten why it was here in the first place. And sometimes it's the original shape of masculinity is best seen in single mothers. If you can hear me, I have a role to care for others, to use my physical strength and to use my attributes to fight for those I love. And that sounds like a single mother. And I will do that because the father is absent. He's traumatized for both because of the masculine role, how it has become, and he can't identify with that role. So he thinks, well, they're better off without me because I'm part of this crazy masculinity. So if I put a lot of mileage between myself and the people I love, they will survive, because it was my fault that they drowned. It was my fault that they died in the plague, and was my fault that I wasn't there when war came. I was out hunting. So there's a lot of guilt here. And I will do that. I'm a king, an emperor, and God, and I care for you. Do not fear me. I would not hesitate to sweep you in my arms and hold you. Well, we have a little bit problem with that as of now, but the masculinity is going to be transformed, and this is the image that the divine wants you to have about the masculinity, so it can come back to its true shape and form. And masculinity needs to do some revolution towards the roles that they have built for themselves, but they are the last one to go through this revolution. Femininity did this in the 1920s, but the males haven't, because they have built a system where they feel safe. No one else is really safe, but they feel safe, but they are not. They are the biggest victim of violent deaths, through war, through robbery at the street, or street fights, or knife fights in the home. And but feminines are the greatest victims too, to males. There's not so many females using the violence out there. Do not fear me. I would not hesitate to sweep you into my arms and hold you. I love you, but know that my role here takes me away many times from all the love and playfulness that still lives inside of me. Trust in my actions, see the truth, and choose a partner who is in action and strong and caring manly man. If you are a man, then this is what you must become. That true masculine hero, that being of protection. No matter what you may believe about heroic men, it's time for you to embrace your hero self and become all of who you are. And for the feminine, I say, become your own hero, and a hero on the outside will appear if you are into guys. So do not debase masculinity. Respect us men for who we are, and we will show you our love. We will not let you down, and will take care of you. That is not to say you are weak. We merely ask you to receive that which we wish to give you. Let us be strong in our own way. Let us care for you, and let us warn you away from that which would hurt you. I will protect, I will provide, I will build a home, and I will bring food to the table. I will build this home with my hands, and you will see the evidence of my efforts, and I will love you. That is my job, and I will never let you down. So we all know that this is not the truth at this time. So you need to become your own hero to render forth the hero in the world, okay? So start with the person in the mirror, male or female. Become your own hero, okay? Become your own, the one that gives you justice, the one that takes you away from danger, that one that respects you and protects you. So when that is done, the foundation work, you will become your own authority. And then you can also be loving and caring towards others. When you have won yourself, you will win the world. Okay, so beautiful. And now I'll take a Chakra Insight Oracle for even more advice for you. Maybe, yeah. responsibility, self-discipline, empowerment, reliability, fulfillment. So it goes well with this masculine card, take responsibility. 20. I'm sorry for my squeaking chair. Take responsibility for your actions and your life. You know, become your authority instead of going with what someone else says. Great freedom comes with discipline. Cradled in the palm of loving hands, a sprouting seed, that's your self-love. A sprouting seed rises up through the soil into the light of day. Within this seedling is the growing vision of a great fruitful plant or tree. There will come a time when the steward of this seed will need to plant it into the ground for it to spread its roots and grow into full form. There will come a time for this seed of life to give back to all who have nurtured it along the way, but for now it is safe here, being protected and honored by the one who was given the responsibility to care for it. So it's like the Fool here. It's your soul. It's your life. Okay, you need to take very good care of it until it can come to full bloom. So you need to purify it into its pure essence, so it will be the seed that it was supposed to be. You know, we are here. We come here as a specific seed, but then we try to be, oh, I want to be like that seed and that seed. So we conform into something else. We take in like DNA from other things, and then we become something that we were not supposed to be. God planted you here as you were supposed to be. So be yourself out in the fingertips and honor the Creator. Okay. So, my dear Aries, I hope this helps. It's always surprising for me what kind of story will come, but it was nice. So, I will do the general readings today, and then I will be away for a few days. And after that, I will probably start sprinkling out some pick-a-card readings, and later I will start with the bonus reading. And they will probably be for, you know, Virgo season, so from when Virgo begins to Virgo ends. I will do it like that, so it will be a whole month, but the astrological month. So enough about that. I want you to take really good care, and if you ever need my wisdom, or the wisdom that's rendered through my divine sources, you visit me again. And next time for the general readings is in the mid of August for September. So take care and bye bye.